Hello and welcome to my channel to plan for the first quarter of the year is over, actually a little bit more. And so I thought I would do what everybody does in the journaling community. I make a first review of my journal lineup and see how it works out for me or not. To give you a bit of a background, I have been journaling for a very long time, over 30 years. But the most part of this time I was a one journal person, like a one journal for everything. And this year I tried something different. I thought I would compartmentalize my journaling a little bit more. Because, I mean, if I put everything in one journal, I use up quite a few journals each year, which makes it hard to, first of all, keep them, because actually at the end of the year I always threw away my journals. And also, yeah, if you search for something, it's buried under a lot of other information. So I thought I would make this a bit, I thought I would make it a bit simpler for me. But I think I'm not quite there yet. So what have I in my journal lineup for this year? I have my planner, which is a Hobonichi Weeks Mega. Then I have this TN insert, it's called Weeks and Memo, and I try to use this for memory keeping. And then I have one more insert here, which I use for brain dump, everything else. Just because I said I'm a one, or was a one notebook person, I guess it's important to mention that when I talk about one notebook for everything, I always did have some notebooks for specific topics as well, but I don't consider them part of my lineup. For example, I have on top of my piano a little notebook where I take notes regarding the pieces I'm currently studying or the comments my piano teacher gives me. I do have a notebook in the kitchen with recipes, which I have been adding recipes to for the past, I don't know, my adult life. So let's say the past 25 years, a little bit more. And I'm always studying something, and I have then notebooks for the specific topic I'm studying. So all those things I do not consider part of my lineup. I mean, it's my notebook lineup is for me the notebooks I use more or less on a daily basis. The only notebook I might consider part of my lineup is my reading journal, which I use, well, depending on how much I read, but usually a couple times a week, because I don't only write here in reviews once I have finished a book, but usually I take some notes while I'm reading a book. Well, depends on the book. Some books I feel have a lot of comments, then I use this reading journal more frequently. Other books I just read and don't feel like writing anything about them while I'm reading them, so it depends a little bit. My current lineup, what works for me? I do like the Hobonichi Weeks, the calendar. Before that, I used to draw my own calendar in a notebook. It just takes away work from me. It's all already here. So I have been using this notebook not always the same way, or this planner not always the same way. I but I mean, that doesn't matter. I mean, as long as I use it, I'm still in the process of trying to figure out what makes most sense for me. So it's, but I think what I do like about this is the monthly calendar, which is useful for my personal appointments. Oh, I forgot to mention it. We are talking about my personal journal lineup. I do have a separate bullet journal, or, well, maybe just call it journal for work. But that's a separate topic, so, and that works out perfectly fine for me. I haven't made any changes there. But yeah, here we're talking about my personal journal lineup. So I've been using this monthly overviews for writing down my appointments and the books I've read in this month. And this has been really nice. I don't have too many appointments, usually. That was actually a very busy month for me. Most of the time I have max one appointment a week, things like that, so that's completely fine. I don't need a lot of space here for everything that's going on in a month. We are currently here. Today is the 26th of April, 2026. Here is not much because I have been in Korea on vacation. So, well, vacation was the appointment. Oh, I could write it in here. Let's do that. I think it looks less blank, but that doesn't really matter. Okay, actually some meetings or some appointments here for next week are missing, and then here we actually are getting to the problem. I have also been using the weekly pages, and sometimes it's a bit difficult because I start to duplicate the stuff. So I have my meetings, appointments here on the weekly spread, but I also have them in the monthly calendar. So I think what I will be doing is just in the future try to have my appointments just here up front and not here duplicated again. So let's see, for example, I know I have 2 appointments next week. So just to see, at the beginning of the year, I kind of tried to use it more in a journal form, then more as a planner, but it's changed it around a little bit. And also here, the weeks I was in Korea are blank. That's the week we are in, and next week I have 2 appointments. Well, appointments. I will meet with a friend on Monday after work, and this is a concert I have tickets for. So let's get this out of the way. And it's a bit of a mix here because I have also here written down a book release I'm looking forward to. So I don't know, it's a bit of a mess. But on the other hand, doesn't really matter. It's my mess. And Okay, so I think I will try to focus more in the future on really putting my meetings, appointments, really only here in the front and not also duplicate them in the back. I don't know, it's just too much, and nothing is complete because then sometimes I only put them in the back and not here in the front. So, I don't know, bit messy. Yeah, so what I have been using this section back here is daily tasks, things like that, notes, habit tracking, things like that. So overall, the Hobonichi Weeks is working fine for me. I also have some notes in the back I want to keep out throughout the year. So this is going okay, I would say. I don't know if I would say going well. Something between okay and well. But I also need to consider I have been using only one journal for a very long time, as I already mentioned. So it takes some time to get used to a new system. The notebook that causes me the most trouble currently is the one why I actually changed this whole system. I said I have always just thrown away my notebooks at the end of the year or maybe a couple months into the next year, simply because, I mean, I think last year I went through 6 notebooks, something like that. Like it was a rather big stack. And considering I've been doing this for well over 30 years, I mean, I didn't always use that many notebooks in a year, but still, let's just say 2 notebooks a year. That's a very moderate estimation. It would be like 60 notebooks I have, or even more. I've been moving around different countries, different continents. It's not feasible for me just to keep all that stuff. And honestly, there is no point in it because I never ever go back because it's just so much. Where should I start? And that was where this idea came in here. I thought I would use this TN insert, weeks and memo, just for memory keeping in here. So just write a little paragraph every day, so that at the end I have this one little notebook to go back to and have the memories of a year right here all together. And flipping through it, it doesn't look bad. It's nice, but sometimes it feels very redundant, or I feel like I don't have so much to write. Or I only write, I forget putting in photos. Maybe I will go back, but I don't know if I have photos still from that week. And okay, here are the few empty weeks, but that's okay because I was here in Korea, where I used my travel journal. I might go back to writing like the main highlights of each day here and put some photos on the other page. Yeah, no, we are back in the present. So I forgot to write one day here, but I think I can fill this up. So it's Saturday the 25th. Flipping through it, I like it, but sometimes I have trouble writing here something because most of my life is very monotone. And that sounds negative, but I don't mean it that way. It's just like basically life, like life for everybody. You get up, I don't know, work, cleaning, cooking. I'm an introvert, so usually my hobbies are more things I do by myself. So I don't know if it's... Sometimes I feel there are not enough exciting things to write about. But it also is a good exercise to still look at the little moments of the day and see, okay, what's here, what happened, what did I do that's still worth mentioning, or maybe sometimes just a little moment. I don't know, saw a funny dog on the street, whatever. I mean, doesn't have to be something big. But yeah, so I'm still struggling a little bit with this one. I don't know. And sometimes so much happens that I feel like I don't have enough space, which is actually why I do like that I have here some grid pages blank where I didn't put in any photos or so, so that maybe if I have, I don't know, next week, not enough space and I want to write more, then I could just say, okay, continue in the week 12, whatever. So yeah, memory keeping, planning, and the third insert is here for me, my brain dump, just writing. I don't want to flip through this because it's very, I have no idea what's written on the different pages, but it's very unfiltered. I don't know which pages might contain personal stuff, which I wouldn't want to share here. But it's this in here, I write a lot. Usually, well, let's do it the other way. I started this one here on the 22nd of February, and I am currently on page 125. So let's say 120 pages in, well, more or less 2 months, which is a lot considering that when I was on vacation, which was 3 weeks of this 2 months, I did write less in here because I wrote more in my travel journal, but I had this with me. So yeah, 60 pages a month, like 2 pages a day. So sometimes it's more, sometimes I have days where I write 4 or 5 pages, and then there are days where I write less. And this is, for me, the most important part of journaling. And my planner is nice, and yes, it's good to have a place for all my to-dos, but honestly, I don't need this. I mean, my personal life is not so complicated that I need a planner for it. I mean, I will remember to, I don't know, do the dishes, go to the market, do my weekly shopping, pay my energy bill without having this planner, but it's just a little, I don't know. It's a hobby, but it's not necessary for me to stay organized. I don't need it because, I mean, I live by myself. I don't have so many other obligations. I don't have kids. I do understand that personal life can be way more complicated if you're just the situation in your life is more complex than mine. But for me, a planner is for the personal stuff. I mean, work is completely different. For work, I always need a planner. Without a planner for work or a bullet journal for work, I would be completely lost. But yeah, so not really necessary, but nice to have. This is, for me, the part of journaling I need. That is where I process what's going on in my life, where I think on paper. It is what keeps me sane. Oh, that's a bit exaggerating, but yeah, it just helps me to cope with my life and order my thoughts, and I think also grow as a person. So that's the most important journal for me. Yeah, so previously all this has been in one, and now it's a bit split up, and I still don't know how I feel about that. But the year still has 8 months, a bit over 8 months left, so plenty of time to see, yes, that's something I want to keep using for the next year, or do I want to go back to a one notebook system? So that was my current journal lineup review. I hope it was, I don't know, insightful, at least entertaining. And yeah, would be happy to see you back for other videos. Have a good day. See ya. Bye.